Shalom, shalom. God bless you. We are live in the studio. This is Prophetic Chatter. And I really want to say this is going to be Prophetic Chatter 2.0. So I know you guys cannot see me right now, but I'm about to do some things. I'm doing some things over here. But if you just bear with me one moment, I really don't want you to see me right now. However, I am about to bring this prophet through. Now, we were in a conversation. I know you can't see me right now. It's not an audio. It is definitely video. And so we are coming through and we are going to be continuing the discussion on marriage. He said something to me earlier and I was like, stop the John Brown presses. Like, just stop. Just like, stop, drop, and roll. And so, Prophet Christopher Neil Bailey, with his hands over his mouth, because that's how it is sometimes as a prophet. You just put your hand over your mouth like Job. And you've been on the show before. Christopher, I'm going to need you to, like, I mean,
how are you?
I'm divine. No, this is spontaneous, guys. This is spontaneous. Seriously. I mean, my hand was over my mouth early. I was like, okay, so that just happened. Wait a minute, God, what are you saying? And so I'm just going to kind of catch you up, sort of. And we were just talking about marriage. And we're really talking about, from a kingdom perspective. And although we can't give you the entirety of the conversation, hey guys, thanks for watching. Although we can give you the entirety of the conversation, we are going to give you the portion that you are supposed to have on tonight. And so with that said, I want to just introduce you again, Prophet Christopher Neil Bailey. He has an awesome ministry. He is in the acting industry. He has an awesome website, which I am not going to show you right now because we're just going to jump into this. And if you've seen him before, you already know what his bio looks like. And we may talk about that a little bit. But again, this is one of those things that was just hot. Like, stop the presses, stop the presses. And so, Chris, let's kind of continue where we left off. You were saying what marriage is. And, we were talking about building and just, man of God, please help us. Help us.
Well, pretty much what I was saying was, and when I've been learning about marriage, especially during the circumstance situation that's been transpiring in my life, what I've learned, and I'm just continuing to learn, is that marriage is not all about love. And of course, you see a lot of posts on Facebook where people are saying, well, love is about, marriage is about this, or marriage is about that. Marriage is about loving one another. Marriage is about, treating one another right. Marriage is about finance and, all these different things and different elements. And the reality is, what I've come to realize what marriage is, it's about building. And it's about two people coming together and looking at each other and asking the question, can I build with you? And what you're building is you're building a ministry of marriage together. You're building, a family. You're building wealth. You're building a legacy for your children. It's just constantly building. And love is a part of it. It's definitely a part of it. And one of the concepts of the building is that you're giving, and you're giving one to another. So, the wife is saying, how can I outgive my husband? And the husband is saying, how can I outgive my wife? And neither one of them are centered on themselves. They're centered on giving to the other person. So that eliminates the possibilities of selfishness because you're constantly giving to the other person. and therefore there's no deficiencies on either side because you're constantly giving and receiving at the same time. So that was a component of building, because at that point you're building your relationship with one another. That same principle goes with the children. It goes with with your finances, and you're giving your finances to the vision of the house. We're giving our finances. You're giving your finances. I'm giving my finances, so that we can build, our house, so we can build our wealth system. We can build an income that we want to, be the center of our household. It's all about building. If you get with someone and you may love them, you may like them, you may think that they are, a wonderful person, but if you can't see yourself building with them, then you're just liking them or just loving them, but you're not loving them enough to build with them.
That Oh, I can actually hear you. Hold on 1 second. And I wanted to actually do something. So, really, Siri? Not now. Okay. All right. So, that's the key. Those are some key components that sadly a lot of people don't have. We have people going into ministries that say we have a marriage ministry. We have a marriage ministry. Well, you're not all. You're not. Well, how can? Oh, how do I want to say this? Because you have to be very careful. Because once you put it out there, it's out there. And so we have people that say that we have marriage ministries, and I know some people, and they really do. I mean, they will get down in the dirt with you. They will give you the real talk, and that's wonderful. But a lot of times when you go to your pastor for like marriage counseling, you only see them once, maybe twice, and for 15 minutes, maybe half an hour, but they're not really walking you through the process, and they're not telling you, well, look, I know y'all got stars in your eyes with each other, but it really is about building. And
It really is.
it really is. It's about building. It's about understanding that we're not getting married just because we love each other. We're not getting married just because we get along. We're not just getting married because you're saved and I'm saved. Because, how many of you people that are watching this right now or even on the replay are saying, you know what? Uh, just because you're in church and you're in the same ministry doesn't mean that we're equally yoked. Now,
Right.
Last night I posted, do not marry. I said, singles, do not marry beneath your anointing. Do not marry beneath your anointing. And I went on to explain it's not about station. It's not about class, but it's about being equally yoked. And how can two walk together? How can two build together except they be in agreement?
Right.
Except they be fully committed. Now, Yeshua talks about one that puts their hands to the plow and doesn't look back. But there are people that put their hand on the plow. They going married, and they doing this. They looking back there, like Lot's wife. Like a lot of husbands, a lot of wives, they constantly, their hand is here. They're saying, yeah, I'm married, with the left hand with the ring on it. I'm married, but you doing all of this. So there is no focus.
And I think that goes, that I can, like I said, I can speak from experience. It goes with saying that on both sides, both the male and the female.
Yes.
Because, you know, even I, struggle with looking back at my past and, allowing, circumstances and situations of my past to, you know, hinder me, disrupt, and cause, a little frustration and confusion, and again, if you don't have that concept of why are we married? Why did we? You think about that movie Tyler Perry wrote. Why did I get married? Well,
Yes.
you begin to think about it, and it's really a valid question.
Yeah.
And when we do go to marriage counseling and things of that nature, when you do find a leader and a pastor that really gets down to the depths of why are you all together, it does have to go deeper than, well, I love him, or well, I love her. And it even has to go deeper than the finances, because, and I know a lot of people say, well, finances are some of the main reasons why people get divorced. And you're like, I don't believe that to be true. I believe that, finances play a part. But I think at the end of the day, even if you're unemployed, if I'm unemployed, if we understand that we got together to build and to build together, then we should be able to build even though we don't have any income.
Right.
Because it's a mental understanding. I mean, if, like I said, if I'm, and I don't want to say if I don't have any finance or I don't have an income or I don't have a job. I guess what I'm trying to say is, if the income is not where we would like for it to be, if we have the mindset of building, then we'll understand building together. Then we'll understand how to build that income, because we have a mindset of building and building our income. And you're not fighting each other or bickering at one another because you make more than she does, or she makes more than you, or you're not making enough, or whatever the case may be, because you understand that the reason is to build. So we engage and we have conversation, and our conversation is centered around building a ministry. If you're running a ministry together, your conversation is, what can we do collectively to build this ministry? You begin to think, what's my gift? What do I bring to the table? What can I do? What can you do? So how do we make these pieces fit? When we get these pieces together, okay, we stack this one here, we stack that one there. You're building. You're not just looking at this person saying, hey, well, you can do this. Okay, well, then do it. Okay, I see you do that. Okay, so if you're putting that block down, then let me go over here and grab this block, because I can put this block over here. We're building.
Amen. Amen. So there's a lot of people that, and I want to say everybody has a story. Everybody has a story. And I think that what's happening is that people are finally stepping out of their woundedness, while there are other people that have not yet identified their woundedness. They won't even acknowledge it. And I believe that has something to do with pride. I think it has something to do with the fact that, where they came from, growing up. And I talk a lot about this, how, people will see themselves out of from the filter of their parents or their siblings or some other authority in their lives. And it plays a part if they have witnessed abuses, and if they have themselves been mishandled. So there's a lot of things going on in the body. And so by the time they get to church, and by the time they sit in front of the pastor, they have yet to deal with these unresolved issues. They have yet to deal with it. And so, and that's a concern. And I don't think there are enough people in leadership, pastors, whoever's in charge. I don't think that there's enough of them looking at the flock that they are over, saying, you know what, this is not going to be a shouting Sunday. This is not we not throwing our hands up and running around the church. We're gonna deal with exactly what needs to be dealt with. Some of you in here are hurting and you're not talking about it. Some of you are dealing with unresolved issues. You're not dealing with it. You're not confronting it. You're not, and because Ephesians 4 is giving us a clear picture of what ministry is supposed to look like. The edifying, the encouraging, to building up, the maturing of the saints. Why? For the work of ministry. And so how can you be effective in ministry if you are not a whole person? And not to say that there's people that everybody, we're all whole, we're all together, but you're not even trying to become. And so you're coming out of the world, you're coming into the church, but you're still bringing the world's mindset with you, if that makes sense. And
yeah, that's I mean, and I can, I can agree with a lot of that. It's, I totally agree. We all come broken. It took, and I mean, it took, and it's still taking, some time to really effectively deal with, a lot of things. But the reality of it is that, once you deal with it, or begin the, let me say this, once you begin the process of dealing with it, you have to be real in dealing with it. You can't just look at it and say, okay. I mean, you really have to deal with it. That's the only way I was able to kind of see, or begin to see rather, that revelation, because it hit me like a bag of bricks. I'm like, wow, so, you get so wrapped up in, the love piece, and love and love and love. And I did, do, and it's like, I had to let that sit for a minute. I'm like, wow, yeah, you have to be able to build with that person, and that person has to want to be able to build with you. I mean, you think about it for a minute. If you got some builders, that you got one builder who builds, building. You have another builder that just builds residential houses. They both builders, but can they coexist and build one building? Or does it have to be, well, because I'm a commercial builder, you have to be a commercial builder, you have to build it the way I build it? Or, the residential guys say, well, I'm a builder, so I build houses, so you just have to come over and build it how, like I build it. Or can they look at each other and say, well, you build houses, you build commercial buildings. I wonder if we can build something that embodies both of them. It embodies, a commercial feel and a residential feel at the same time, and be something very unique and something, something different. But both builders have to be willing to say, yeah, let's come together and let's build that.
Absolutely. And so Pastor Michelle Stella, she's on here, and she was making a comment saying, what I said earlier about that mindset, trying to take Egypt into Canaan.
Right.
Into Canaan. And so I think that there needs to be, right, Pastor Michelle, instead of compromise, we can collaborate. Absolutely. Yeah, collaborate. Absolutely. So, and I just want y'all guys to know, we just kind of jumped on here. This is, well, y'all know it's early over here. It's only 6 o'clock. And it's midnight over there with the prophet. It's midnight. He's down south in the Kakalakis. He's in the Carolinas.
There it is. There it is.
Yes. So we're not going to stay on here long, but I really wanted him to just come on here and just talk about the building process, because we do not, I'm telling you, nobody is telling people this love thing y'all got, but it's really a building process. It's building. And
building takes time. building takes time. It's, you know, the interesting thing about, you know, because I remember I had a dream about this some time ago, and I was at church one day, and we was praying. It was like Saturday morning prayer, and I was at church one Saturday, and God had showed me this big piece of land, but it had a whole bunch of rubbish on it, you know, like from old buildings and stuff like that. And what had to happen, the land had been purchased. There was a sign up there saying that the land had been purchased, but there was another sign up there that said, you know, the name of what this building was going to be, and then coming in 2018, or it was a specific year. And so what they said was, yes, this land is primed for building. Yes, we have builders that are going to come and build the building, but we first have to clear away all this rubbish, and you have to clear the land. And in some cases, when you're doing building, and I'm speaking as if I'm a construction worker for real, but, you know, in some instances, they have to go and dig up the earth and,
yes,
and clear that out and dig down and put a foundation down,
yes,
or reestablish the foundation or whatever, or strengthen the foundation, whatever they got to do, because, you know, they understand that what we're building is massive. So we can't just build it on this flat piece of land because it'll topple over. So we got to dig down further and, you know, put the foundation further down in the earth so that when we begin to build up, it'll be able to stand.
yes,
And when you think about building, you think about relationship, you know, the whole dating process and all this stuff like that, that's a part of unearthing things and, you know, finding out what's there and, you know, all that stuff, and clearing stuff off the, you know, off the land, so you can see, is this something that I can build, and is this person willing to unearth this stuff with me so that we can kind of clear stuff out and see if we can build down
yes, absolutely,
that both people have to be willing to do.
absolutely, and that's such a great analogy. It's an imagery that we can all relate to. So I mean, and we could talk about this and talk about this and talk about this, but I know it's late, but I did just want to kind of get this snippet out. But this is good because this is laying the foundation work for when Pastor Michelle and her husband Gregory come on November 20th. On November 20th. And so, and we're going to talk about it. And look, it's going to be real talk. Straight, no chaser. Straight, no chaser. And so, straight, no chaser. I mean, I love people that talk about things that most people don't want to touch. This is a marriage. It's a real thing. You can't just like close the shutters, and I don't understand. However, that's what's going to happen November 20th. But I thank you, Prophet Christopher Neil Bailey, for being on. Can you tell the people about your ministry really quick, the name of your ministry? I could do all of that, but I want you to wake up.
Well, you know, I've taken the website down because I was revamping some things, because I really wanted to attack exactly what I do versus being all over the place. But the name of the website is Be Creative Entertainment. It's Be Creative, the letter B, ENT.com. The ministry is Be Creative Entertainment Ministry. We do stage plays, productions, mostly mine, and my production and my presentation, motivational speaking and speaking engagement. So I know you can go and check the website out now. It's not where I want to be as of yet, but just kind of keep it in your bookmark, and then go back and check it out. And I'll have all the information that you need up there to let you know how to get in contact with me. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Periscope. I have all that listed on there. So just keep it in your bookmarks and check on it frequently, and I promise you it'll be up there.
Awesome, awesome. Okay. And well, something just happened. Cause I could see we are still streaming, but I don't. But it says on Facebook this live has ended. Let me see what they doing over there on YouTube.
Oh,
And okay, no, we still on. All right. Okay. Well, folks, that is all we have for tonight. We are not out of word. We just a little bit out of time, but it's all good. All right, guys. I'm Apostle Nebiah by Yehuda. This is Prophet Christopher Neal Bailey from Be Creative Entertainment. Still working on the website, but it's so good. We just had to come in and drop that little nugget on about marriage. Marriage is building. So if you have any ideas in your mind about getting married, you're going to need to know what is the truth as opposed to those rumors that's running around on the church in the church. So reality, we just want a reality and faith-based marriage. Amen. All right, so we could talk a lot about that, but we are going to say good night and to I was going to get ready to say
oh,
and to all a good night. Shabbat shalom, everyone. Good evening. God bless you.
God bless.